Good day, everyone. This is the Theoretical Foundations of Classroom Management in Special Education, presented by Group 6, Diversity in the Classroom. So, let us first define what is diversity. Diversity is recognizing the group or individual differences that we see in students. It means looking at each other's unique profile. In classrooms, we have to be aware of the differences of the learners in order to cater their needs and provide them quality education. So, concepts of diversity. Special education classrooms are inherently diverse environments. Beyond the range of disability students may experience, a multitude of factors contribute to this rich tapestry of learners. First one is ability diversity. This refers to the varying strengths, weaknesses, and learning styles present in the classroom. Students may have diagnoses like dyslexia, autism, ADHD, intellectual disabilities, or be gifted learners requiring some support. So, despite the learner's disabilities, it is the teacher's job to turn those as their abilities in order for them to unleash their own potential despite having disabilities. The second one is cultural diversity. Students come from various ethnicities, races, religions, and socioeconomic backgrounds. Their cultural background can influence learning styles, communication preferences, and even disability perception. Another factor that needs to be considered is their cultural diversity. We must respect this and accept that everyone has their own cultures and beliefs. Language diversity. Some students may be multilingual learners or speak a different language at home than at school. This can create challenges in understanding instruction and expressing themselves. Another one is language. So for example, a child is Bisaya. So they might have different tone or accent, but it is not right for us to laugh at them. Respect is a must. The last one is family and community backgrounds. Families come from diverse backgrounds with varying levels of education and involvement in their child's education. Socioeconomic status can also influence access to resources and support systems. As this factor cannot be changed, we must also look at their background, not to belittle them, but to understand the uniqueness of their background. And maybe through this, we can learn from them as well.
Good day everyone, I am Relo Yerlin from Reset to English. Today, I am going to discuss our topic about theoretical foundation of classroom management in SPED. The first one is sources of learning diversity. Number 2 is diversity in SPED setting. And the first one is sources of learning diversity. But let us define what is learning diversity. Yes. So, learning diversity. Learning diversity is the growth of group and individual differences in our student. It exists in every classroom and it can have a powerful effect on learning. Yes, that is right. Normally, in classroom, learners have differences. Learner diversity refers to the variety of differences among students in a classroom, including factors like cultural background, language, socioeconomic status, ability, learning style, interests, and personalities. But in this case, we are going to talk about only the 5 factors or differences of learners. Number 2 is culture, attitude and value, child interaction. Cultures reflect to the beliefs, value, and behavior that makes up a person's way of life. These include things like food you eat, the clothes you wear, and music you listen to. When you go to school, you bring this culture habit with you. Like for example, let's say you come from a family wherein it's important to always be respectful to teachers, older and authorities. This value of respect is part of the culture. In school, this behavior will be encouraged and supported by the teachers. Minsan, kabaliktaran. this can sometimes challenge the teacher's ability to manage the classroom effectively because the child's value and behavior may be different from the mainstream. Gender, role, identity, and stereotype threat. I will give you an example of stereotyping. This idea can create pressure on children. Because of stereotyping, the student is not able to show those things that they are exploring and interested in. Magaling yung bata sa ganito pero dahil babae or lalaki siya, hindi niya pwedeng gawin yung bagay na yon. It is important for teacher to be aware of these stereotypes and treat all students equally, regardless of their gender. This way, students can feel comfortable being themselves and exploring their interests without feeling limited by outdated ideas about the boys and girls should do. Let them explore and let your student find ways the things that they are interested in only need to do for the matter this to guide them. Language or dialect. It is about how you pronounce word, speech, intonation, or rhythm. No matter how hard you try to imitate a second language speaker. For example, English, there will always remain a trace of your mother tongue, the language you grow up with. Learning style. Visual, audiokinesthetic, and tactile are involved. Learning style are the different ways that people like to learn best. These include how they pay attention, understand information, and remember what they learn in school. Socioeconomic style. It refers to basic need and experiences, parent involvement, attitude, and values. It involves here the money and resources that your parent have to provide. When parents are involved in their child's learning, make sure their basic needs like food and shelter are met and provide opportunities for learner and grow. Children tend to do better in school. Let's move on to diversity in SPED setting. Diversity in the special education setting, the classroom of children with special need is a natural setting of diverse need and characteristic. Aside from the sources mentioned previously, their differences can be explained in terms of how the child reacts to sensation, process information, plans action, and sequences behavior and thoughts. Number 2, the level of functional, emotional, social, and intellectual capabilities. Number 3, typical and necessary interaction pattern. And number 4, family patterns.
Good day, I am Roland G. Canabral from PROF-ED to English, and I'm going to discuss the basic components of classroom management. First, clear expectations means that teacher establish and communicate specific guidelines, rules, and standards for behavior and academic performance. This helps students understand what is expected of them in terms of behavior, participation, and engagement in the classroom. In the second, structured environment means that the physical space of the classroom is well organized and arranged in the way that support learning and minimize distractions. This includes having designed area for different activities such as reading corner or a group work area. And the third, positive reinforcement. This bullet point emphasizes the importance of using positive reinforcement to acknowledge and reward the student when they follow instruction. Positive reinforcement can be a powerful tool to motivating students and promoting positive behavior. Fourth, engaging instruction involves creating learning experiences that capture the student interest and curiosity. This can be achieved through various strategies such as incorporating hands-on activity, real-world example, multimedia resources, and interactive discussion. When students find the content and activities engaging, they are more likely to stay focused and motivated to learn. And the last, individualized support. This bullet point emphasizes the importance of providing individualized support to students with special needs. Those students may require accommodation and modification to ensure their success in the classroom.
Let's move to the 6 main components. First is physical. This component refers to setting up the classroom space. A well-organized classroom can minimize distractions and promote positive interaction between students. For example, having designated areas for supplies and materials can help students stay organized and on task. Psychosocial. This component focuses on the classroom climate or atmosphere. It refers to the overall feeling or mood of the classroom. A positive classroom climate is one where students feel safe, respected, and supported. For example, teacher can create a positive classroom climate by greeting the students by name each day, using positive reinforcement, and resolving conflicts peacefully. Behavioral. These components refers to the expectations for student behavior. It's important to have clear and consistent expectation for students' behavior. For example, teachers can develop a set of classroom rules with input from students. Interactional. These components refers to the methods and strategies used to teach students. Effective instruction is engaging and helps students to learn. For example, teachers can use a variety of instructional strategies such as lecture, instructions, group work, and hands-on activities. Procedural. These components refers to the routines and procedure that students follow throughout the day. Consistent routines help students to know what to expect and can minimize disruptions. For example, teachers can establish routines for entering and exiting the classroom, sharpening pencils, and lining up for lunch. Lastly is organizational. These components refers to the systems and processes that teachers use to keep track of students' progress, assignments, and materials. Effective organization helps students to be more efficient and effective. For example, teachers can use a grade book to track students' progress, a filing system to store assignments, and a calendar to plan a lessons.
6 characteristics of a classroom setting. The classroom setting is a showcase of contradictions and competition. Students are urged to be independent and responsible, but teachers set the rules and procedures from the class. Let's discuss the first characteristics, which is the multidimensionality. Teachers are not just confined to the act of teaching, they are also expected to perform a variety of tasks within the classroom. This includes planning lessons, grading assignments, managing classroom behavior, and providing feedback to students. The next one is simultaneity. The term simultaneity is the context of the classroom, refers to the concurrent occurrence of multiple events or activities happening at the same time. The phrase eyes in the back of their heads is a metaphorical expression suggesting that teachers should be able to monitor and manage the classroom effectively, even when they are not directly facing the students. The third is immediacy. In a classroom setting, events and situations can arise suddenly and unexpectedly. Teachers must be prepared to make quick decisions to address these situations effectively. And the fourth one is unpredictability. Unpredictability is the classroom set characteristic refers to the fact that events and situations in the classroom cannot be fully anticipated or controlled, even with careful planning. This can include unexpected student behavior, unforeseen challenges, or changes in circumstances that require teachers to adapt their approach on the spot. Fifth is the publicness. Publicness is the context of classroom settings, refers to the fact that the classroom is a public space where both teachers and students are constantly under scrutiny. This means that their actions, behavior, and interactions are regularly observed and evaluated by others, whether it be fellow teachers, administrators, or even the students themselves. And the last one is history. The classroom has a history that influences its present and future. The concept of history is the context of classroom settings refers to the cumulative experiences, events, and interactions that have occurred within the classroom over time. This history shapes the dynamics and atmosphere of the classroom, influencing how both teachers and students behave and interact with each other.